In a quiet village, far from the bustling city, a young mother lived with her baby boy Liam. Their life was simple, humble, and filled with a quiet peace. But their small world was watched over by someone truly unexpected. A horse named Solon. He was a gentle giant, a magnificent brown stallion with a soft white patch on his forehead. And he seemed to understand things that words could never explain. From the very first day, Liam was brought home from the hospital. Solon became his silent guardian. He would stand by the window of their small wooden house, his calm, wise eyes fixed on the cradle where the baby slept. It was an unbreakable, unspoken bond. The horse seemed to believe that this small, fragile child was his own to protect. Every single morning without fail, Solon would be there, waiting patiently by the window as the sun rose. And every night, before settling down to rest, he would circle the house, a silent sentinel making sure all was safe. The villagers would often smile and joke about it. "That's Solon," they'd say. "He's not just a horse. He's that baby's personal guardian angel." They saw the affection, the strange connection, but no one could possibly know how deep that promise ran, or how true their light-hearted words would soon become. Whenever the mother carried Liam outside to feel the fresh air, Solon would slowly approach. He'd lower his massive head with incredible gentleness, allowing the baby to reach out with his tiny, clumsy fingers and touch his warm, soft muzzle. Liam would giggle, completely unafraid, his small hand lost in the horse's coarse hair. It was a daily ritual, a moment of pure, innocent trust between a child and a powerful animal. One evening, the sky turned a dark, angry gray. The wind began to howl, rattling the old farmhouse and whipping through the golden fields that surrounded them. Rain started to fall, first as a soft patter, then as a torrential downpour, hitting the tin roof with a deafening roar. The mother, worried about her laundry left on the line, quickly stepped outside to bring it in before it was soaked through. As she wrestled with the wind-whipped sheets, a sudden blinding flash of lightning split the sky, followed by a crack of thunder so loud it shook the very ground. The animals in the nearby barn panicked, their frightened cries swallowed by the storm. Inside the house, Liam slept on, oblivious to the growing chaos. But high above his cradle, a heavy wooden beam in the old ceiling, weakened by time and now stressed by the violent storm, began to groan. A thin crack appeared, then another, spreading like a spider's web. Danger was creeping in, silent and deadly. Out in the field, drenched by the rain, Solon suddenly lifted his head. His ears swiveled forward, every muscle in his body tensing. He hadn't seen the crack he couldn't have, but he sensed it. He felt the shift, the imminent threat, with an instinct far sharper than any human sight. A primal urgency took over. With a powerful snort, he broke into a desperate gallop, his mighty hooves tearing through the mud as he charged directly toward the house. He reached the front door and, without hesitation, began to kick at it with desperate, resounding force. He wasn't just knocking, he was trying to break it down. Inside, the cracking sound grew louder. The mother, still outside, heard the frantic noise and turned, her heart lurching with fear. Just as she started running back, the old wooden beam finally gave way. It snapped with a horrifying crack and began its deadly descent, right toward the cradle where her baby lay sleeping. At that exact, heart-stopping second, Solon burst through the weakened door in a shower of splintered wood. He didn't pause, he didn't look around. He lunged forward, using his strong, muscular neck to shove the entire cradle with incredible force. The small bed slid across the floor, coming to a stop safely in the far corner of the room. A moment later, the massive beam crashed down onto the very spot where Liam had been sleeping, shattering on the floorboards with a deafening impact. The mother rushed inside, her scream catching in her throat as she took in the scene of devastation. Her eyes darted from the fallen beam to the corner of the room. And there, standing over her child, was Solon. He was breathing heavily, his body trembling from the exertion and a gash on his shoulder from the broken door. He had positioned himself as a living shield, his entire body poised to protect the baby from any further harm. In the chaotic aftermath of the storm, amidst the splintered wood and pouring rain, it wasn't a person but a horse who had saved her child. Solon, still shaking, gently nudged the now-awake baby with his nose, a soft, questioning gesture as if to ask, "Are you safe? Are you okay?" Tears streamed down the mother's face as she ran to him, throwing her arms around his powerful neck and burying her face in his wet mane. She hugged the heroic animal who had risked everything for her son, her sobs mixing with the sound of the receding storm. Years passed. The storm became a memory, a story told with awe and gratitude. Liam grew from a baby into a bright, adventurous young boy of 7. And Solon, his faithful guardian, grew older, his coat a little grayer, his steps a little slower. But the bond forged in that little farmhouse and sealed in the heart of a storm never faded. It only grew stronger. On a warm afternoon, with a gentle wind blowing through the fields, the boy sat proudly atop the old horse's back. They moved together as one, a familiar silhouette against the setting sun. Their journey was a testament to a love that needed no words. Because some protectors don't wear shining armor, some heroes don't speak our language. And sometimes the most powerful, unwavering love comes from a heart that beats in steadfast silence. Not all guardians have wings. Some stand on 4 legs. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more.